Hello, everybody. Welcome to our third week of recovery. Today is our third day in it. So I have to say that my body is definitely needing this and appreciating these recovery days a lot. So I hope that your body is feeling the same way. We are going to be using a couple different bands today. Hopefully you have kind of a heavier tension mini band, so they're kind of small, not super wide, and then a lighter tension. If you don't have to, don't worry about it. Still just training the body through ranges of motion and flexing muscle to bone. So getting isometric contraction is going to get you a long way. And we're here for just recovery, health, giving a little bit of time back to the body after all of those crazy weeks of 30, 20, 10 that we've been doing. So we're also going to be starting with a roller. I'm just going to use my little one for today, and we'll get going on our glutes there. So just take a seat and roll back and forth. Let's put one cheek on the roller, roll all the way up towards your low back, and then just past your glute down the leg a bit. You kind of find positions that feel good for you where you might need it a little bit more, a little bit less. Open the knee out and roll more onto the outer edge. And then kind of stop where you feel a lot more tenderness or intensity, and you're just going to roll the leg around. So the roller is going to stay still. You kind of move your foot back and forth, the leg in and out, crunch your knee in, pull it in, push it out. Just kind of changes the way that the roller is working on that tender area. All right, and then take your right leg, we'll cross it over the left, and we're going to get more onto the outer edge of that thigh. So kind of where the IT band is a bit. Some of us get really, really tender and tight here, depending on your choice of exercise usually. If you run a lot, different things like that, it can get pretty tight and tender. So this is going to help keep your knees happy. You kind of roll in here a bit. All right, and then hang out. Keep the roller where it's at. Just pull that leg in and out. Keep your roller still and move your body on it. And back and forth. Whew. Tender there. Okay, and then let's get the other side. Put that roller on your right booty cheek. Roll back and forth there. You got it. Back and forth, up and down. Same as on that other side. Just make little movements. Angle your foot in and out or rotate through that hip. Get that sensation and feeling right where you need it, where it's most needed on your body. Okay, and then find a spot that feels a little more tender. Might be different than where it was on the other side. Keep your roller still and just move that leg. You can keep it still weighted on the ground. Rotate in and out. Pull the knee in and out. Still keep charge of that core while you're moving along here. Okay, and then we'll cross over and hit up the side of the thigh. Perfect. You can kind of change your angle and direction as you roll in and out. Try to keep that breathing with it. Okay, find that tender spot. Holy smokes. Crunch in and out with that leg, rotate it around. Just a different way of kind of nailing that fascia. Grab the core. Keep your chest nice and tall. All right, and we'll be done with our roller. So we're going to start by lying on the ground. We can go ahead and put our band on the heavier tension one. Put your band on around your kneecaps or above your kneecaps. So not on top of your knees, but just above. And to start, we're going to try to find our deep interior core muscles using some breath work. We're not even going to really be using our band yet, but we're going to get started. All right, so I've just been realizing more and more how much focus and concentration and time it takes to really find those deep muscles of the core. So when you lie on the ground, your knees are bent and you have a natural low back arch. And there's been some stuff that I've been reading lately, trying to figure out new cues and ways of helping people find that core flexion and even grabbing from the pelvic floor. And I've come across a couple things that say pushing your low back into the ground is not an effective cue. I personally think, after kind of thinking about it and going through it a few times, I still think it is an effective cue because it does help pull the front and deep interior core muscles together. But a big deal is making sure that your glutes are not active. And then kind of hold that in the back of your mind. So maybe not so much the end goal is to get the low back into the ground, but instead what I want you to think about is tightening all the way around your core and torso. So one thing that I found was kind of super helpful in mental imagery for me, and as an analogy, think about a balloon. And if your core and around your abdomen is an inflated balloon, what we want to get away from is just pulling the middle of the balloon back, which would be like you're trying to suck the front of your belly in to make it look flat or tone or whatever. And instead, what we want to do is tighten all the way around the whole thing. So if you have your balloon and you pinch together all the way around, that's going to be much more effective core contraction and grab than just from the front in, right, on one side. So I want you to take a nice deep inhale. You're relaxed right now. Your low back has the natural arch off the ground. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, it is helpful to kind of make a sound through your teeth. And I want you to deflate and have everything possible go out of your abdomen. So your diaphragm lifted, you inhaled a lot of air, and now we want it all out. Tight, tight, keep going. At the end of your exhale, that's where you should feel your entire torso wrapping all the way around. And then you also pull from your pelvic floor up towards your belly button, towards your abdomen. And that is a really good, solid interior core flexion and connection. Takes time to find. It's really annoying because it's not a lot of topical exterior physical gain, but if you can tone from the inside, I think, at least for me personally, the outside and the exterior tone comes along with it. So you're really going to train a flatter core, and you're really going to help your low back to be a lot happier. All right, so we're just going to let's go through 3 more of those. So inhale. So when you inhale, think about inflating your belly as opposed to your chest, because we want to really get that diaphragm muscle moving. And then exhale all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Again. Out, 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 out. Keep blowing out. And then last one. All right. Tug those knees into the chest. Give yourself just a little hug. So obviously when we're working, we aren't able to hold that exhale and get that contraction of the core, that deep, deep flexion and connection by exhaling and holding the exhale. We'll pass out. But I do feel like that's super effective to help us find those muscles. And then as we develop and find that awareness, we can connect the mind to the muscle, and then we can really get some safe, healthy super positive, progressive core, interior core work done to help protect that low back, like I was talking about. So we're going to go ahead and come up and we're going to start using our band. But along the way, I really want you to try your best to keep that connection of the core, that deep interior all the way around flexion like we just worked on. Okay, so we're going to just start with our simple good old steps. I want you to, again, though, focus. So I'm going to take this recovery week, this recovery day. We're not trying to get a lot of output. And I really want us to slow down and connect with what really should be happening. So your band should be on tension the entire time you're stepping. So if we're going to step, let's see, if my right foot's going to go in, but I do not want to lose tension on the band. So I'm barely stepping in. We don't want to lose our tension. So you're just going to step in a teeny bit, and then you're going to pull the left leg out as wide as possible. And we've done a lot of band stuff, so hopefully you've already been able to figure this out. But we're really, like I said, just going to kind of slow it down and make sure that we're holding on to that we have our core connection flexion, and that we never lose our tension on the band. So just keep going here. We're focused more on function and form, not necessarily reps. Pull. We want that knee to line with the toes. Check in with that core. So you grab in through that pelvic floor and then wrap all the way around. Trying to squeeze all the way around that torso. Toes are going to be straight ahead. Keep your breath going. Constant tension on your band. We're going to go back and forth one more set. Feel like those abductors, the upper outer glutes are what's pulling, right? So as opposed to yanking with your foot or your ankle sliding out first, we're getting those muscles up in the glutes. All right, and time. Perfect. All right, now we're going to go into abductions. So keeping that tension back onto your band, knees lined with toes. Chest is up nice and tall. Find that same core flexion. So go ahead and find that. Then we're going to sit into a squat. Put tension on your band. Sit back on your heels. So already you should be feeling flexion. Grab in through that core. Sit on the heels. Then I want you to pull the knees out. Then let them come back in just slightly. Pull and then come back in. So it's not a pulse. I want you to push those knees wide. Take a second and then resist the pull of them coming back together. Focus on what you're doing. Stay in the moment. Get your breath nice and deep, even. Can you find your core? Keep your chest up. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Sit on those heels. Push it wide. Come on, just a few more. You're going to try to push the outer edge. Give me 2 more. Check the core. And then stand up. Perfect. Okay, back onto the ground. Onto your back. Keep your band right where it's at. Okay, we're going to go into good old glute bridges. So we're going to start off with just a hold. Up and hold. So kind of shimmy your shoulder blades down the spine once you get up there. And then again, make sure that that core is strong, wrapped all the way around. So a lot of times in a glute bridge, we just drive the hips up and then you have a low back arch, right? It arches more than it should be because you're just focused on driving those hips up as high as possible. So once you get your butt up, your hips up in the air, try to point and pull your tailbone down toward the backs of your knees. Flex again through those glutes. And then check in with that core again. Find the pelvic floor muscles. Breathe deep. Put tension on your band. So really, we never want to let that band be off tension. And the outer edges of your glutes should be firing nice and gnarly right here. Again, just slowing down, focusing, checking in, feeling the work where it should be. Building that slow heat. Okay, keeping the core strong, so we're not relaxing. Lower your hips down toward the ground, but keep them from relaxing, right? So you just barely kiss the ground with your hips and then drive right back up. So we're taking our time here. Stay solid through the core. There's no rush. Keep your tension on that band. Not worried about counting. We're not worried about making a certain amount in a certain period of time. We are just focusing on each rep at a time, getting maximum effort through each phase of the motion. Have you let anything go? Has your band shortened? Knees gotten closer together? Have you lost your core? Glutes are on fire, but see how much flexion and heat you can build through the abdomen as well. All right, give me last one. Ugh. Drop your hips, hug them into the chest. Give yourself just that little break. Okay, we are going to move into single abductions from that glute bridge. So set your feet back on the ground. Set them right where you had them. So what's going to happen is get your butt up in the air, shimmy those shoulder blades down, find your core. Keep your left foot still. It's going to want to fall in, and you're going to need to stay really focused that that foot stays driving into the ground. Right now where it's at, you can put your hands out to help support. Then lift your right leg and pull to the side. Again, we're not rushing. We want to try to keep those hips level and square. Pull to the side, bring it in slow. Remember, we always want tension on that band. Driving up through that left side. Flex both legs. Try and make sure that you're not pulling the supporting leg away to help counter pull. It should try and stay really still. Give me just one more. Oh. All right, set it down. Keep the hips up, check in, make sure that they're in position, core strong. Okay, and then we're going to lift the left leg. Make sure you left that right foot right where it was. We're not rushing. Pull to the side. Resist as the band is going to pull the leg back toward the other. Pull. Bring it back. Pull. Bring it back. Pull. Check in with that core. Make sure you're not losing your low back. Resist as it comes back. This will be our last one. Bring it back in. Okay. Drop those hips. Hug your knees in. Give yourself a tight little hug. Check in with that low back. If it was feeling tension, chances are that we were overarching, putting too much pressure on the low back and not using the core to support. All right, we are going to move on to our sides. Do a little clam action. So elbow down underneath your shoulder. Find flexion through your oblique, your back, your core. And then keep your left leg or the bottom leg on the ground. And then your feet are going to stay together. Pull the top leg up, making sure not to yank it. So we're not just yanking, but pull nice and slow. Hold it just a second. Lift the chest, grab the core, pull the pelvic floor, and then lower, but not all together. Pull, lower a bit, pull. Again, we're not in a rush. Stay with me. Check in with the core, back, neck, and then that leg is on fire. Try not to just yank it up, but being in control. All right, let's hit the other side. I think we'll do a couple rounds these. Definitely tough. All right, so now we're on our other elbow. Lift up through the chest, grab across the core, stack your feet. Make sure you're not collapsing in. Get that pull, and then only release to where you still have tension on that band. You can still play a little song. Check in, core, tighten all the way around. Remember what we worked on at the very beginning. Resist that drop back. Try to find where there's no relax. There's no wind up. Get those legs, inner thighs, glutes on fire. Tighten the core, build heat there. Give me one more. Okay, circle back around. As I said, it's not really counting day. Just kind of going to the max. But we need a little bit more, I feel like, on this side. Okay. Lifted chest, tight through that oblique. Feet plant together, open. So I'm also trying to check in. Notice where your body's going to want to compensate. Am I rocking back and forth with the leg? Am I finding momentum one direction or the other? One side is definitely weaker. Whew. One more. Oh, come on, open. There we go. Oh boy. Okay, so now I'm getting a little more range. I just changed my foot placement. I know I said one more. Definitely changed where it's working from. Now I feel a little more inner thigh. All right, let's go to the other side. It's just fascinating how different little movements, placements change everything. So this is why it's so important for you to know your body and to make small adjustments here and there. Figure out what you're doing and make it easier, or how to put the work in a different part of the body, the leg, the muscle, the core. Connect your mind to the muscle. Figure out how to flex both directions. Back off of any momentum, at least for our purposes right now. You got it. Let's do a few more. Keep it slow. Focus, core, chest, back. Last one. Get it open. Bring it in slow. Whew. Okay. Hinge back into a child's pose for me. Curl your toes under so that you can get some stretch through the bottoms of the feet. All right, we're going to go into a bear walk. So you are going to be on your hands and knees. If bringing your knees up off the ground doesn't feel so good for you or doesn't work for your wrists or shoulders or whatever else, you can build a platform and use elbows. You can also keep your butt in the air if getting both knees off the ground still doesn't work. Then just keep one knee on the ground and you're going to extend your leg back, bring it in, other leg back, bring it in. As with everything we've been doing though, I want you to focus on what you're doing, what you're feeling, slow it down, find each direction of the move to build lots and lots of heat. Okay, so my knees are outstretched, putting tension on that band again. Nice big open hands. Curl your toes under and bring your knees just up off the ground. So right here you should feel lots and lots of core activation. Build still in through the back. Walk your left knee in, then your right knee in, then your left knee out, then your right knee out. Right foot, I guess it would be. Walk in, out, out. Tension on your band. Want to try to keep those hips level, right in line with the shoulders. See if you can keep your shins parallel to the ground. Focus the tension on that band. Focus the core. Hang with me. Notice what you're feeling. That's what we're here for. Flexion into all the right places. All right, take a break. Whew. Sit those hips back. Reach your arms out in front. Okay, we're going to go back through another round, but we're going to be walking the right leg forward first and backward first instead of the left. Give your wrists a little break. Send them the other direction. Okay, here we go. Nice big spread open palms. Push into that thumb and first finger. Curl your toes. Tension on your band. Okay, right, left, right, and left. Breathe deep. Focus core. Tension on your band. Strong, strong belly. Strong, strong back. Where's that tension? Keep it there. And time. Whew. All right. Give yourself a second. Stretch again through those wrists. Other way. Okay, now it's time to pick up our lighter tension band. All right, so grab around or put the band around your wrists, and we're gonna simulate a lat pull down. So your lats are the muscles along the sides of your back. There's a lot of insertions and places and things they're over, things they're under, but really for our focus today, it's gonna be all along the sides of the back, behind your armpit, and then down the side. Okay, so as with everything that we've done, start with your nice strong foundation, get into the core, make sure the pelvis is neutral. So you're gonna tuck those hips so you don't have pressure on the low back. If you keep your hips back, that starts to yank on your back. So tuck under a bit, tension on that band, put your arms as wide as they go, and then pull the elbows down and wide. Push up. Just like with our legs, we want to always keep tension between those hands on that band. I don't know if you can tell yet or not. I'm sure it'll get more defined, but I'm shaking. Just tension on that band. Flex into the back. Belly holds strong. Chest is up. Still put some tension on that band around your legs. No rushing. Hold the tension. Keep your neck relaxed. Open your elbows wide and pinch between the shoulder blades. Watch the hips. I lost mine a second there. This will be our last one. Perfect. All right, give yourself a second. Oh, those arms break. Okay, then we're gonna go back to where our arms are in our 90-degree angle, so the goalpost, and then you're just gonna pull arms apart. Tuck the hips, belly strong, neck relaxed. Not worried about numbers, just build that burn. Feel it in all the right spots. Core, back, shoulders. Feel the triceps. Just a few more. Push to that limit. Neck stays out of it. And done. Whew. Ah, definitely feel that a little more than I was anticipating. It's good. Super good. Okay, coming on down. We're not quite done with those arms yet. So give them a quick stretch. Let's take our right arm, twist under, stretch through the shoulder, lift up, left arm, tuck under, stretch through that shoulder. Okay, so we're going to go back to our bear, and we're going to do little hand pulls side to side with our band. So again, if bear doesn't work for you, pulling your knees up off the ground, don't worry about it. All you need to do is just keep the knees planted. So shoulders over wrists, nice flat back. Check in with your core first, right? So even before we lift our hand or our knees up off the ground, I want you to feel flexion and contraction through the core. And you can also help by pulling traction between your hands and toes. All right, lift your knees up, recheck in, find it all, get set, pull your right arm out, bring it back. I'm gonna bring my knees a little wider. Left arm out, back. Right arm, left. To the right. Find that core. Try not to move the hips or the legs. Focus. We'll go one more on each side. Whew. Okay. You can get rid of your lighter band, and we're going to come up to standing, moving our blue band or the other band around your legs down around your ankles. Okay, high ankle, low calf area, and we're going to do a back step. So again, what I want to focus on here is the glutes. So we want to find focus, our focus point, shoulders back and down, belly holds strong, plant onto the left foot, always keep tension on your band, open the chest, shoulders back and down. So we're going to move our right leg back and then in, but not off tension. And we want to find our butt, our glutes. Tap the toe or do whatever you need. Flex the core. And then find glutes. So remember, we're not rushing. We're connecting mind to muscle. Make sure you don't let that leg, the kicking leg, come too far back in. A little band adjustment. It's riding up my shins. So you're definitely going to be feeling the supporting leg, but get that pushing leg, that pushing glute to do a lot of work. Feel the burn there as well. Remember, change angles, make little adjustments, turn your toe a little, but keep your hips level. Find that place where you get the burn right where you want it. Check the core. This is going to be my last one. Whew. Hopefully, you're at your max by the time I'm stopping us. That's what we're going for. Your ultimate. So go back and do more, or really honestly, dial into more flexion. Find higher level of self-work, self-intensity. We think it's all about the workout or the trainer, but really the intensity is up to you. Connecting, mentally connect, flex, get set, contract. And if you weren't needing this recovery week, then we need to chat. If you did all the 3 weeks of workouts building up to this. You don't make progress as much or gains muscular strength building if you don't give yourself some rest and recovery as well. Oh my goodness. The burn is real. Oh, I'm going to do a few more. I need a second. Lifted chest, tight core. Last one. Ooh. Whew. Okay. Give yourself a little second. Let's reach over those legs. Let your hips kind of hinge to the right and hinge to the left. Oh, fantastic job. Okay, we're going to do one more and then we'll stretch. Definitely want to give more time stretching, recovering. Get back on our roller for a bit. Okay, so put your band around your feet, so the arches and the tops. And we're going to do a little march. Again, want to really focus on using that tension and trying to never let it go. So we got to find our balance. Pull the right leg up, bring it down. We're going to stay on that right side. Pull up, down, core, pelvis neutral. Pretty fatigued by now. Good. Use the core. Tension on that strap. Let's give 2 more. Perfect. Okay. Whew. Other side. Keep that breath. Figure out how to keep your intensity. Build that flexion to all the right places. Figure out if you're compensating anywhere. Got it. Hang strong. Tension between those feet. Keep that band on. 2 and 1. Whew, okay. Let's go back to our roller real quick. Man, oh man. We're going to put the roller the other direction, roll the other way on those glutes, and then we'll get some stretch going. So I'm on my left booty cheek. The roller is parallel to my leg, that left leg. I'm just rolling left and right. So hopefully you built a sweat. You kept that core contracted the whole time. Move to the other side. Roll back and forth. Roll all the same directions or in the same direction as our muscle fibers. There's a few different directions here on our glutes. So definitely feels good after all that band stuff. Whew. All right, let's lie on our backs. Grab the strap, your band if you can. Put it around your left foot and then lie down. Straightening all the way through your left leg and then just easy pull the leg back as far as it will go for a nice, safe stretch. Think back over your set. Did you feel connected to the muscles? Did you stay consistent with core flexion? Do you feel like you can find those deep interior muscles at the core? Could you find your pelvic floor muscles? Did you notice you were compensating anywhere? All right, release this leg. We'll go to the other. Push the back of the knee away from you. Get that stretch into the hamstring. It's a good set. It's good to just slow things down, check in, find connections. I feel like it's such a good mental practice as well, which we so often forget how much of a difference and how necessary and high on the return on investment mental practice. Stress management. Okay, cross your ankle over your knee. We're going to go into our glute stretch and sleep. Proper sleep, deep sleep, adequate sleep. Even for those who pride themselves on functioning on 5 hours of sleep, over time, there's things that cannot stay at the high level of functioning. So just make sure that you're giving back rest. Okay, cross your left ankle over the right knee. Breath work, meditation, mindfulness in the midst of chaos and crazy and busy, forcing yourself to sit down, breathe for 1 minute. All of a sudden, priorities are a little more clear. The people around you also will learn from your example. And I think the world can be a better place if we all just chill out a little more, breathe a little deeper. Definitely getting there. I think it's become more accepted, people's awareness for it. It's great. All right, roll yourself up. Let's hit our butterfly stretch. Put the soles of the feet together. Wrap your hands around those toes. Lift nice and high. Relax. Let's just relax a second. As far as not moving anywhere, close the eyes. See if you can just release tension in your hips. And then if it sounds good to you, lean forward over the legs, or you can stay right where you're at. Even if you're still tight here, we've been working on this for several weeks. Grab something to sit on and elevate the hips. And it'll help give you a little more space through those hip flexors. And even if you're still sitting on something, however many weeks later, that's fine. I think we'll be at 12, right? That's the whole idea. Moving on to something new after this week. I'm very excited. I have lots of ideas, so we'll see which one takes hold. All right, stand up over those legs. We'll take a nice forward fold, and then you all can have your day. All right, inhale, come all the way up. Thank you all so much. Fantastic job. I'll see you tomorrow.